Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We are from group the Middle English Literature 1300 until 1400. And our group member are Sirlina Hasanah and myself, Dwi Gita Cahyani, Rizka Puspita Lestari, Enji Nursyaindah, and Fathimah Noorhidayah. We will explain about Middle English literature. The medieval period, 455's Common Era until 1485. The Middle English period, between the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 and the start of the Renaissance in 1500, a period of European history known as the Middle Ages period. This 100-year period in European history is frequently seen negatively. As a result, it is referred to as the Dark Ages. And next, the characteristic of the medieval period. Society was made up of three orders: clergy, nobility, and serfs. Feudalism dominated all aspects of medieval life. Manners were self-sufficient. All economic activities occur on the manor. The lords had responsibilities also under the feudal system. The church was the only source of education. Christian worldview has arisen in the 1st century in Palestine. That is the characteristics of the medieval period. So next we will explain about the poets in the medieval period. The Middle English poems of Geoffrey Chaucer, the Gawain or Pearl poet, the Wakefield Master, and William Longland are iconic of this frequently tumultuous period. Italian and French authors like Boccaccio, Petrarch, Dante, and Christine de Pizan are examples of further writers.
The characteristic of the medieval period literature. First, heroism. From both Germanic and Christian traditions, sometimes mingled. For example, Beowulf, Sir Gawain, and the Green Knight. Second, presentation of idealized behavior. Literature as moralism. For example, loyalty to king and chivalry. Third, use of alliteration. The alliterative revival, a rehashing of Anglo-Saxon literary techniques. Third, romance. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, a narrative in prose of verse that tells of the adventures and heroic exploits of chivalry heroes. Exploits of knights, often a supernatural element involved. Fifth, Christian message, concerned with salvation and the world to come. No interest in social change. Chaucerian period. The greatest poet of the Middle Ages was Geoffrey Chaucer, 1340 to 1400, and it can be said that the late Middle Ages belonged to Chaucer, often called the Chaucer Age or the Age of Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer is considered one of the first great English poets. The Parliament of Fouillus, Troilus, and Christie, and the Canterbury Tales are among his works. His writings, which are both humorous and thought-provoking, reveal him to be keen observer of his period, with a sophisticated mastery of numerous literary forms.
The Canterbury Tales. The Canterbury Tales is a collection of tales delivered in the style of contest of storytelling by a group of pilgrims en route to Canterbury's cathedral. The stories are primarily written in verse. Each member of the group was intended to tell two stories on the way of the cathedral and two stories on the way back per the prologue. However, this collection only contains 24 tales. As a result, this work is regarded as an unfinished. In this work, Chaucer includes a range of literary genres, rhetorical techniques, and linguistic idioms. It is accurate to claim that he employs various styles for various characters in order to portray their social standing and level of education. Chaucer was able to include characters from a variety of social classes because the use of a pilgrimage as the framing device, including a knight, a prioress, a monk, a merchant, a man of law, a franklin, a scholarly clerk, a miller, a reeve, a pardoner, the wife of Bath, and many others. A wide range of literary genres, including religious legend, courtly romance, racy fabio, saint's life, allegorical tale, peace fable, medieval sermon, alchemical account, and occasionally hybrids of these genres were presented to largely the diversity of social types and that storytelling can testify. An ancestor of the hairy couplet, Chaucer created a line of 10 syllables with alternate accents and regular end rhyme for the Canterbury Tales.
The King Arthur, Welsh, Brenin Arthur, Couronnes Arthur Jarnell, Breton. Rure Arthur was a legendary Celtic Briton who, according to medieval histories and romance, was leader of the Celtic Briton in battles against Saxon invaders of Britain in the late 5th and early 6th centuries. Some argue that King Arthur lived in the late 5th to early 6th centuries. He was either a king or a leader of the Celtic peoples on the island of Britain. Many books have been written about it. One of the famous was written by Sir Thompson Malory. In several films, Arthur is considered a hero because he managed to pull out a sword from a stone and only he can magically pull it out. The tales of Arthur's story are mainly composed of Welsh mythology, English folklore, and literary invention, and most historians who study the period do not think that he was a historical figure. Arthur is first recorded in sources which date to 300 years after he is supposed to have lived. The Annales Cambriae and the Historia Brittonum. His name also occurs in early poetic sources such as Wygodaden.
The poem. The first point. Wygodaden tells how a force of 300 or 393 chosen warriors were assembled, some from as far about as Pitchland and Keonet. After a year of feasting at Dyn Aden, they attacked Catred. Second point. If this mention of Arthur formed part of the original poem, this could be the earliest reference to Arthur as paragon of bravery. In stanza 99, the poem praises one of the warriors' quarter. The third point. Romance then became quite popular among European nobility, starting to flourish in the 12th century AD in southern France. Cretin, the Troyes court poet of Marie de Campagne, was the most famous of the Romantic poets and certainly among the most influential. Chrétien's poems about the damsel in distress and the brave knight who must save her became immensely popular and contributed to the development of the legend of King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, which Mallory would eventually full realizes. For the last one, that's about the sources.
Okay, guys, maybe that's all that we can explain about the Middle English literature in 1300 until 1400. Hope you guys enjoy and can understand what we explain. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.